how the teachings of Christ have been altered. And this is by David Moore, and this is on page 117. And I'm going to paraphrase some of it, but New Age is a term which has been confused by many, he says. Some people believe that it was closely society which involves all these other things that is negative, while others see it as an open, tolerant, spiritual, holy path which one can follow. Some see it as another religion, while others see it as a way of life. Some see it as a return to God, while others see it as an evolving process of growth. Some see it as a complete replacement of the existing religions, while others see it as a logical extension to the path that they have already traveled so far, including they're still in the religions, churches, but they're still extending out to grow furthermore and so forth. And so that's kind of interesting right there. One of the neat things in the other book that he writes is called The Christianity and the New Age Religion. And this goes over the beliefs. On page 115, it says, the New Age group of individuals is a very diverse group. As such, will be difficult to cover possible beliefs without omitting some possibilities. In addition, the difficult chosen ones in a way that could satisfy all New Ages and all various stages of development. And this goes over the 5 important beliefs: the soul, time, dimensions, ascension, and unconditional love. Switching from this book to this book, I do want to cover in the last chapter, it says, what summarizes the New Age is, New Age welcomes those who love, follow, and become essence of the way. They do these 3 beliefs firmly in mind. One can love the essence of Christ, Messiah, without belonging to a congregation and established church. One can expand his or her belief system is number 2, because of the restrictions placed upon the Christian belief system have been placed there by men of the church and not by Christ and by God. Number 3, that the Christian New Ager is closer to the original teachings of Christ than the Orthodox Christianity of today, because the teachings of Christ have been altered. Which is talking about how basically, like Christianity, if you didn't follow it a certain way, like when it came to the Waldenses and the Abergancies, which is covered in those books, as well as Israel and the Alps, we come to find out that if you even had not just leadership, but if you decide to have layman teaching, and you decide to have a little bit discrepancy in, say, the Trinity, if you were for or against, or different definitions, even though you followed the best you could towards your belief system in Christianity and to your heart morals of the upright good, the church would just say that you were of the devil or so forth. So New Agers kind of shy away from that. New Agers shy away from corporate religions. So they're not really bad people. They're looking towards, one of the biggest things is they look to the highest love. Articles of love is very interesting. That each individual entirely is a child of God and has the spark of God residing within. This is on page 140 in Christianity and the New Age by Dr. Moore. That the spark of God can grow or evolve throughout eternity so that it can be at some point be where God was and never entirely where he is, because God will also grow and evolve the evolution of his children. That this spark begins as a soul which was assigned by God to a group and which was later divided into individual entities as the entity evolved. That the soul, number 4, that the soul is the first structure of life. It evolves through the growth, become an individualized entity. The soul evolves by accepting and resolving experiences developed in the number of incarnations. An incarnation or in-body experience occurs when the soul incorporates itself in 4 other bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, within one physical body, thus creating an incarnation or personality. The soul grows by accepting the personal knowledge of the experience gained, so which each carnation you wind up growing, being better, learning from your own mistakes until you become ascended master. Once you become ascended master, guess what happens? You help other people. Some people do not even come back to this earth. They just help other people be better. We also see one of the neat things is dimensions. We believe there's multiple dimensionals and realities, and we also know that there's portals, as mentioned in the book of Enoch. So it says that dimensions are unique, but when you look at the book of Enoch, you find out that it's not too out in left field. I want to read a thing on this section too. It says, incredibly long human historic terms, age of the earth. We found out too that we really don't know how long Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden. Did he have the first real baby after sin? Did he have multiple babies, spiritual creatures during that time, before he became physical form, Adam and Eve? We also know that our spirits have no male and female. We are both male and female on the side, in different feminine aspects. There's no age to the spirit, of course. There's no color. So that means in reincarnations we could be black, red, whatever. So this is just an optical illusion. We see at the age of the earth, each of these catastrophes could have happened. Each is a possibility, since each would have left us with little or no record of what had transpired before, since many New Agers seem to have a nagging memory about the pre-historical events of some sort of criminal consciousness. Then the type of New Ager believes in the ancient days from much further back than mentioned by the minister of the church or synagogue or any type of association. For example, the New Ager believes that there was a populated land of Lemuria, Memuria, some 80,000 years ago. Dry land of Atlantis was 10 to 16,000 years ago. In addition, Even these may be recent occurrences based on many of the such imprinted sown in mechanism which became fossilized under the fossil small animals which hasn't existed on Earth for over 200 million years. Incidentally, although 200 million years may seem like a long time, at a point of geological time the Earth had already been around for 95% of its present age. For many reasons, New Agers have quite an inexperienced idea of time related to the human consciousness. And of course, if it was a traumatic experience when it has died the land, of course, a lot of the memories would have been suppressed from our subconsciousness, along with the incarnations. We were trying to survive as a spirit creature, as a race, as a human experience. We also find that the New Age's experience not only extends scriptures and say the lost books of the Bible that I have over here. We also might get into different practices that helps the human body, like diet and Reiki, but Reiki again is not associated with any religious experience or the New Age or any of that. Also find out that yoga is the same way, not associated with New Age or whatever, but you find a lot of these people also love nature, also want to help the earth, preserve the earth, also want to help our fellow man, our neighbors, in the little things, as well taking them to work or helping another family that's in need because of a disaster or a crisis of some sort. We also find that we try to be in tune by the Spirit, and that's why we love nature and we love Mother Earth. We also find out that we study different practices, and we're curiosity of like books like Awakening of the Druids Within, like called Druid Magic, is a neat book. Or we might read a historical book called Israel in the Alps, which is by I only can get it now, published through the Baptist Standard Bearer, which I have never been to Baptist, but this is a great book, and thank the Baptist Standard Society for that one. I read books on Where Pharaohs Dwell, which is by Patricia Corai, and she writes a lot of great books to awaken of spirituality. And then I have some things that I study on different things from Ireland, like the fairies and different things of the sort, and angel spirits, whatever you want to call them, or spirit guides, to waken up the field, because why put a name on things? This video is hopefully to attune you to not stay in your box. Some people do tarot cards. Some people do not believe in it. Some people have the crystal ball. Some people have little stones that I keep that has different powers, just like this computer has a stone, which helps us communicate together. These have different properties and minerals that help us. But I try not